Hey y'all, this is Dr. Seiler. I wanted to take the time to review the course on Blackboard just so you know where everything is. So if you want to watch this tutorial, search on it by yourself on Blackboard, but I want to make sure that you know where everything is so that we can have a smooth transition as we start the class so you're not fumbling around trying to find out where assignments are, where the lectures are, or anything like that. So take a walk with me throughout the course. This may look a little different than yours. Because my edit for the course instructor is on. So just bear with me. Some things that you won't see yet because it's not open until next week. But I wanted to take time to post this before so that you can be ready for next week's class. So as you can see, this is the home page. This has your typical announcements and to-do lists and alerts. And I will try to do as many announcements as possible just to keep you on track throughout the course. Announcements. I've already posted a couple announcements here. Again, this may look a little different, but this gives you textbook information, quick little welcome information about myself, and just kind of caveat that at the beginning of this week, course was under construction. I was still doing a lot of work with it, but I will continually update as I revamp the course from before and add more voiceover lectures for you to listen to along with your reading of the textbook. This is my welcome page. Again, it's going to look a little different, but that's me in that little picture there. There's my information for instructor, course description, and then some information about myself. I've talked about a lot of this, my background and my video introduction that you'll see in the discussion board posted. But what I didn't mention there is I do have a large family. It is my wife and 4 children, Dalen, Drake, Brennan, and Beckett. We live in Moncks Corner, just not too far outside where CSU is. You can see my interest there, but I love teaching. I love interacting with students, having them learn, and learning new things. So whatever I can do to help you do that throughout this course, please let me know. Here's the course information page. You'll see how to navigate where things are here on this page. There's some Blackboard help. That's a Blackboard site specifically for students. Your calendar, which will come up with assignments that are due, when they are due. You can add in other things to that calendar as well if you would like. The textbook information here. Please don't buy it full price. Rent it or get a used copy. It is a good book. It is a quick read. It's not too strenuous to read. A paper syllabus here that you can download, as well as an online syllabus. I'm not going to go through this too much, but you can read through the course objectives and all the modules that we'll be talking about. There are 5 learning modules because it is a 5-week course. The additional information that you typically see in a syllabus, such as grading, rubrics, course evaluation, course requirements, all of those policies and procedures are down here. Each of these are downloadable, so click on it, open it. You are held to this standard to make sure that you are following all of these throughout the course. So make sure that you review those and are aware of each one of those. This is what the course calendar page looks like. You can see that today is the 24th. It's shaded in, and that'll continue as you go through the course. But you'll see next week, Memorial Day is Monday. The 28th is the first day of class. And then you have various things due on these days. And that pops up for you so you can keep track of what you need to do when you need to do it. So that's a great tool to use to help you manage your time and get through the course assignments appropriately. For the course content, you'll see every week a new learning module will pop up, which will look different for you, but these grayed out little folders here will be blue when they are open for the beginning of that week. This learning module here for learning module 1 will open up next Tuesday when the course begins. But let's open it up and see what we're going to get into. Every one of these modules will look like this. So there'll be a weekly video, just kind of a hey, how are you doing kind of thing. I'll reach out to you, see how things are going. Then I'll have a module description, and all the due dates will be in red. So make sure you keep track of those. There'll also be a module synopsis, or a quick kind of introduction to what's going on in each chapter. The objectives of each chapter, these also are found in the textbook. A read and study folder, we'll get to that in a little bit. An assignments folder, again, we'll get to that in a little bit. And then a module summary and a quiz at the bottom. I leave this quiz outside of the assignment, so you know that this is here, that you need to do that kind of by itself, so that is available to you. So let's pop into the read and study folder. This read and study folder has two different things. First and foremost, it has the chapters that we'll be going over. The two other things, within each chapter, there'll be a PDF. You can see PDF there, and that is just the actual lecture slides. The MP4s are the lecture slides with a short lecture voiceover with them. So if you're walking somewhere, or if maybe you're driving and you want to do a lecture as you drive, you can click on that and listen to that as you're going somewhere, that you don't necessarily have to sit down and look through the PowerPoints. Those MP4 voiceovers have a lot more information that I talk about as you read through the chapter, compared to just the words on the slides for the PDF. So I will do one of those for each of the parts. So depending on how the chapter is set up, I've split it into chunks, so the videos don't get longer than about 15 minutes. So they'll probably range 5 to 15 minutes for each part that you'll see. Under the assignments folder, when you open the assignments folder, you'll see a couple different assignments. Discussion boards. This week we'll only have a video introduction, and then every week we'll have a white chair film. And if you haven't heard of white chair films, it is an I am second, meaning that God is first and I am second to God. And these are professional athletes, actors, actresses, musicians, that they are telling their I am second video, and we're going to walk through our lives and reflect on where we're at in our lives with Christ, and learn through reflection on these exercises. So they're great films. They're not too long. You can see this one's only about 4 minutes, and then you're going to post some responses to the questions I have there. Every week there'll be case studies at the end of the chapter. One for each chapter. Maybe there's two. Usually there's typically one case study and some questions that go along with it. You'll click on this. It'll come up with an assignment. You just type in your answers to those questions and then submit it on Blackboard. For the learning module learning moments, there may be 1 or 2 of these learning moments, depending on what other assignments that you have this week. But these learning moments are for you to reflect on the chapters that you have read and pick out something new and explain what you learned and how this is important, or how it relates to your future profession. Again, it's a way of reflecting, not just kind of quickly going through the content, but reflecting and seeing what really hits you as something new that you learned. This week there'll be one from chapters 1 and or 2. So this is just one learning moment. Sometimes I'll ask you for a learning moment from each chapter. So it depends on the week, depends on what the other assignments, but I'm trying not to overburden you with assignments throughout the week. And lastly, there'll be some sort of outside assignment. This one is a reflection in video. We're talking about, in this chapter, types of injuries and mechanisms of injury. So your job this week is to then look at this, but there'll always be this kind of outside assignment that'll help you go through some outside and apply the information that you've learned throughout the week. After the course content, you'll see the discussion board. So these are discussion boards here. As we go through, this will get longer as I update the rest of the learning modules, and they'll start to pop up for you each week. There is a grade section that you can click. You have all these things upcoming, which is good. If you see something, it should say almost due, or it'll say past due. But right now there'll be all the upcoming ones if you are under all. If you're looking under the graded, you'll see the ones that are graded and your grades for them, upcoming assignments, and then ones that you have submitted. So I'm sure you've used some similar functions through other classes, but that's there for you as well. If you have questions about faith integration, this links you directly to the mission for CSU. So if you have any questions about that, you can review that information or ask me. I also have an academic resources tab, and this is just APA reference, the handbook, Blackboard again if you have problems, and the writing lab for help with writing if you need it. Lastly, the other big one is our email function. You can click on that, email another student, email me, but with other courses on campus, will function only through Buckmail, and all the emails that I will send out as a group through Blackboard for this class. So that is the class. If you have any questions, you can't find anything, don't hesitate to ask. I'd rather you be sure that you're doing everything on time so you don't have anything late for the course. All right, have a great week.